Sgarnon champions, welcome back to another video. I'm Digger off the Amateur Prospector, and today we're prospecting at home, but with paydirt from Sofala. This is from Wade Bronson. We've got 3 of the $50 bags that he has for sale. We'll go over those a bit later anyway, but for now I've got to get this started because we're going to be smoking a brisket. So we'll start the heat on in here, full of little briquettes. Okay, I'll leave them toasting. All right, so time to get this thing started. Shaving off some of the fat. Keep all this, it'll come in handy later. Now we've trimmed off all the fat, we're going to keep that aside and render it so we can use the tallow a bit later. But for now, got some spices as a rub. So instead of salt and pepper, this has got spices as well, just for a bit of flavour on the skin and to help soak in some of that air and water. Come out and our chimney is well alight, so safety first. I'm just going to dump all of these straight in there. Put this out of the way. So I can place them around a bit better. So now we can start preheat. So I'll close this lid, open the vent all the way. So we'll just start with that. Close the lid. Now I've got a little V format in my grill so the air can get all the way underneath, all the way through, so we get good temperature happening. So now, with the gate open, I'm just going to leave it to start preheating while that brisket is soaking. So I've got the temperature coming up, preheating cherry wood. This is what we're putting in the flavour. Which is actual chunks of wood. So when we put the brisket in, get that temperature to sit around 120 before I put the brisket in, so soon it's going in. I've got the second probe in ready to go in the brisket. That's just the outside temperature at the moment, 13 degrees. Sun's just starting to rise. Oh, get the pegs out of the way. Jeez, Steve, what are you doing? Seems like a top day to wash some rocks, smoke a brisket, chill out for the day. Alright, sun's rising. I've got the temperature about where I want it. Now, I've been preheating the wood, so it's pretty much, it's hot, it's ready for combustion. That's going to give me a nice clean smoke instead of that thick white smoke. So now it's time to put on the brisket. Now the temperature will drop when I open the lids and stuff, so I'm not worried about that, but I'm just going to set it up and then I'll maintain the temperature with the firebox. I think it's time to bring out the brisket. Got our second probe. We'll jam that. Too deep. So that one's in the brisket to tell me the internal temperature of the brisket, and this one's to tell me the temperature of the smoker itself. So now the brisket's in, I'm happy with its placement. I've got a jar of water up here. That'll keep the moisture so the brisket doesn't dry out. The steam as well. Just close the lid. Now we move over to the firebox. So what I want to do is, because the charcoal doesn't flame that much, so there's no flame going directly into the firebox, I'm going to put the charcoal at the front. And my two chunks of wood towards the open door here. Now see how they've gone straight into combustion? They've gone straight into a flame. There's no thick white smoke bellowing out. But because we've just added fuel to the smoker, our temperature is going to go up. And that's going to stuff with our initial cook. So for the first 3 hours, I'm not going to open that, but for the first 3 hours, it's all about maintaining that temperature. So if it starts getting too hot, I'll just open the lid a bit. That'll bring the temperature down. So I want to sit around 250 Fahrenheit at the most, 200 at the least. 120 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius, that's about that range. And just make sure the inside of the smoker is got plenty of smoke coming from the cherry wood, plenty of heat going into there. There's plenty of airflow for the smoke to flow through. So now I've just got 3 hours, chill out and wait for the smoker to do what it does. So what else is it to do? That's right. Gold Paydirt from Wade Bronson. From Sofala. So these are $50 bags. Come double bagged, but just to give you an idea of the stuff we're dealing with. And we've got 3 of these bags. So time to set up a little panner station and maintain some temperature on the smoker. The temperature will start coming back up. So while I wait for that temperature to come up, and I'll maintain that heat, we've got Paydirt from Wade. So let's check out what we've got. So we've got a setup here. I've got 3 pans. Each pan has one pan and a snuffer bottle. So what I'm going to do is collect whatever I find in each of these bags, and then at the end, maybe tomorrow, I'll go through each snuffer bottle and dry it out, and we'll show you what you can get from the $50 bag from Wade Bronson, and this is Sofala. So no further ado, let's check out what we're dealing with here. temperature. Yeah, that's doing alright. Alright. So, by first glance, it's a bit damp. But that's alright. We can still work with that. There's nothing really big, so I'll just, yeah, let's just pour it out. Wash the bag out. So, you can see some organic matter, rocks, oh, I think I see a tiny bit of gold. That's a good sign. Another little tiny bit. Huh, that's interesting, because usually I'm dealing with gravels that are really dry, or like, this is interesting. So I don't think we'll actually classify it. We might just do little scoops at a time. Alright, well, next stage. Alright, so now I can keep my eye on the temperature. Chuck some surfactant in the water, which stops any gold floating away from us. Don't need much of it. And now we'll get some of just go for a sample. Let's see what we're working with. The sink, but yeah. So if you want to get some of this pay dirt, I'll chuck some information to Wade in the description. You can contact him through Facebook, and he collects all this out at Sofala, which is in New South Wales, Australia. So I'm not sure if it's open to international people, but it's just a little prospector. He's not a business. It's just something he does when he's got enough. So we've got some bigger rocks in there, but that's alright. We'll probably pick them out. Make sure that we're not taking holy crapola. That was from that one little pan thing. On my little spot. Oh my god. Is that what I think it is? That's a sapphire. Holy crap. Oh, I have to keep an extra eye out. Holy crap, look at the size of that thing. That's awesome. So a big blue sapphire and a smile of gold. See, this is your prospect at home. You get some pay dirt from a place you haven't visited, and you don't just you're making an event. We've got smoker cranking, nice blue smoke coming out, not too white and heavy. Temperature's right, sun's rising. It's going to be a good day. This is what it's all about. So at the moment we're sitting about 56 degrees Celsius, 125 degrees at the hot plate, but that's kind of right near the port, so that's a bit of an allowance. It's getting up around the top temperature I want it, so what I'll do is just sit here and let a bit of the heat out. And you'll see, oh, temperature starts dropping at the hot plate. So that's the way I make it, I'll maintain temperature in an actual smoker. The bottom one is the brisket itself is sitting at 56 degrees Celsius internal temperature, which is going pretty good. And now that my degrees are coming down, 112. Just close the lid again. Just sit here for a bit longer, chill out for the morning, and I think I might make another coffee. So now the sun's coming up a bit more, I just wanted to go over my setup. So this little smoker is a little offset smoker. It was just a Bunnings job, so $200. It's got the fire pit on one side, barbecue area in the other. You've got your flue, chimney, a little stacked area. Like it was only $200. Okay, so this is a cheap setup, and it's kind of, you know, a bit of fun to do, but you don't have to spend a lot of money on a smoker just to do a whole brisket. But we'll see how this goes first. The charcoal I'm using, it's sort of made for what I'm doing. So that's where your heat comes from, as opposed to the heat beads that just sort of turn to ash real quick. These charcoal burns a bit hotter and stays a bit longer. Cherry wood, so actual chunks of wood. All this I got from Bunnings as well. But the local butcher, if you go to Central Point Butcher, where I got this brisket from, they've also got, they sometimes have bags of hickory as well, so you can get all different flavors of smoke. So every time you have a brisket or you try different stuff, just try the different woods and smokes that you can get naturally, like real chunks of wood, just to see which one you end up liking. And there might be some in particular one that you like the most. So all this is just from Bunnings. Like the temperature gauge is online, some of the tools and stuff, but the majority of this stuff is just the cheap version. So I'm just an amateur, like I'm not a professional smoker. This is me having a crack at smoking a brisket and panning some gold. That's what we do as an amateur. This is prospecting at home. A bit windy. That's alright. Another day at the office. It's 9:30, it's been 3 hours, so we'll just have a quick check of the brisket. It's nice and moist still. Getting some good smoke and even heat. I'm just got to fill up the water, and then we'll cover that back up and keep this process going. So we're at the 5 hour mark. Internal temperature is about 80 degrees Celsius. Nothing's really drying out yet, and I've just put on, that was some of the cuttings, so I've just put on, because they're a bit thinner, I was put on for the last few hours. Refilled the water, that's the 5-hour mark. Time to close the lid for another couple of hours. Yep, some organic matter, very dirty, a little bit damp. And that's what we're working with. And on the very surface you can see a little speck of gold. Another one over here. Alright. Oh, let's have a go at washing them. So, now this part you can talk over because it'll be sped up and edited. So what we'll do is each time we have a go at it, just chuck in a little amount. Got the spare sucker bottle ready to go. See, bits of organic matter and loose dirt. I'm used to seeing gravels and rocks, bedrock and stuff, but Sofala's like just north of Bathurst.
Yeah, right.
And this bloke lives there and just does pretty well, so keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. And keep those riffles at the front and give them a wash down. A bit more water. Don't be scared with the water. And when you first start, try and get little circles going and bend the pan a little bit forward. To try and get everything, the heavy stuff, falling towards that front bottom corner.
So would you do about that, or would you get more of that
going.
chunky shit off?
Yep, keep going. That's alright. And we're on to the last little bit of the bag. Bam. Get into it. Alright, let's have an update. She's looking splendid. Alright, 6-hour mark. Away you go. This is the drippings from the smoker. All that smoky fat that rendered off. Now we'll just get that temperature back up. Fire's cranking. I've got flames to the left of the box and the coal to the right, so the flames aren't going directly in there. So that should give us plenty of heat. Now we're just gonna let it wrapped for 2 hours and then on to the next bit. Alright, so it's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna let the brisket rest for 2 hours before we open it and start eating. That's it. 2 more hours and we'll see what we end up with.
Excited.
A lot of
Here comes
moisture
the
coming
unveil.
Now I can smell it.
Did you do that? Yeah, they do. I've never done one, but we do a mug and one.
Psycho Serve one. That's what I need. Because something wrong happened there and I need to fix it.
Wow.
Hang on.
Look at that.
Okay, that's what we're dealing with.
Nice close up there.
Yes, boss. Go to your bed. Go to your bed, boss.
I can smell good food. You got me?
Yeah, take notice of me. Go to your bed.
Is he here?
To you.
Have your nose around.
Up. Sit.
Gotta go to the taste
Stay.
test.
Stay. Melt in your mouth.
Let's find out.
Mmm. It's alright.
That is definitely. Alright. These are the three. What we'll do is we'll get the gems first because I'm just curious to see what they weigh. So 0.5 gram there worth of uncut gems. Let's put them there. Alright. Now, you get me special filter, gold catcher, bit of paper. So we can see. Jeebus. 0.492. That was out of the first bag. So on to the second bag. Same thing. I'm gonna 0.357 in the raw natural uncut sapphires, some look like, or venturine. Okay, actually this is the one with the picker, so let's check it out first. 0.080. I'll grab it better. Zero 0.576. That's the second bag. I'll grab that third. Start with the gems. .615. Oh, there's got to be a better way to do this, but probably dropped a little bit, but 0.397. So I'd say it was 0.4 because I probably spilled a couple of bits. Well, let's see it all together. Alright, 1.459. So you could probably put that down to 1.5 grams with a little bit that I spilled. Little picker. That's not bad. So there we go, that's the 3 bags from Wade Bronson, in total anyway. So the first bag came up, and I'll just show you a couple of photos here where, so this is what the gold looks like. This is how much it weighed, so 0.492, and the second bag came with 0.576, and the third bag came with 0.395. So in total, I think it was 1.48, just say 1.5 grams, but just out of the 3. So you're looking about, this is return of investment. So about $120 worth of gold for $150. So every bag, yes, just say you're getting about $40 worth of gold, $50. That's reasonable in the ROI department. It's actually in the high percentages, so it's pretty good. If you want to grab some of this paydirt yourself, I'll leave the contact details in the bottom as always. So just send him that message, and he will organise the rest with you. So that is about as much as me. The little sapphires are a good bonus. I think they, if you know what to do with them, well, that'll be cool. But just having the raw, natural things in a little vial, I like that kind of stuff. So I'll be keeping that aside, keeping that separate. But still, bit of fun, smoking a brisket. I didn't get to film everything. I didn't keep everything in the video either. It was kind of a big night, so you don't want to put too much stuff on YouTube. But still, it's a bit of fun. Something to do with paydirt instead of a novelty of it. It is a novelty. If you want to go buy gold, just go to eBay, type in gold nuggets, go buy gold. Gold paydirt is about a novelty. So make it an event. Have people over, muck around with it. You got a catch pan for your tailings, so you can go through it later again. It doesn't matter if they lose any. It's about just getting other people out there and having a bit of fun with it. So let me know what you think anyway. If I did something wrong with the brisket, tell me what I did wrong. Tell me how I can make it better. If I anything you want me to know, just hit me up. So that's about it from me, guys. Hopefully I'll see you out there.